When the storm clouds gather and the winds begin to howl, there's no time left to prepare. Disasters strike quickly and mercilessly, leaving destruction in their wake and testing the limits of human resilience. Those caught unaware are often left grappling with chaos, desperately searching for the essentials they no longer have time to gather. Imagine the panic as power lines snap, plunging your home into darkness. Your roads become rivers as water rushes in, and the once comforting walls around you crumble under nature's relentless fury. It's a scene none of us want to find ourselves in, but it's one that too many have faced unprepared. The key to surviving the storm lies in preparation, and knowing exactly what tools and resources to have on hand could be the difference between safety and catastrophe. Before the next storm looms on the horizon, you need a plan, and more importantly, you need the right gear. From life-saving tools to essential supplies, every item you have could mean the difference between enduring the storm or being overwhelmed by it. Don't wait until it's too late. This guide outlines the 10 must-have survival items you absolutely need before the storm hits. Your life and your family's may depend on it. Number 1. Electric space heaters. When the storm hits, you're going to need heat, no excuses. An electric space heater can be the difference between staying comfortable or suffering through freezing temperatures. These small but effective devices are critical for keeping you warm, especially during power outages when your home's primary heating system might fail. Don't underestimate how quickly the cold can become dangerous. This item isn't a luxury, it's a survival necessity. But here's the thing, having an electric space heater isn't good enough by itself. You need to make sure yours has the proper safety features. Fires are no joke, and the last thing you need during a storm is to deal with a preventable hazard inside your own home. Look for models with overheat protection and tip-over shutoff mechanisms. These features aren't optional, they're mandatory. A heater that's not safe is a liability, not a solution. Now, don't forget about power supply. Too many people assume their space heater will always work as long as they plug it into a wall outlet. Wrong. Storms can knock out power for hours or even days. That's why you need a backup plan. A generator is your best bet for keeping an electric heater running during an outage. And no, don't get cheap on this. A reliable generator is a lifesaver, literally. Research models that can handle the wattage your heater requires and make sure it's ready to go before the storm rolls in. Preparation is everything when it comes to survival. Think ahead and make a checklist. Do you have a space heater? Does it have the right safety features? Is your generator fueled and capable of supporting the heater? If the answer to any of these questions is no, fix it immediately. Winter storms are unpredictable, and waiting until the last minute is a mistake that could leave you shivering in the dark. Acting now ensures you're fully equipped when the worst happens. Remember, this isn't about comfort, it's about staying alive. Don't gamble with your safety. Get an electric space heater, make sure it's safe, and secure a backup power source. 2. Aluminum snow shovel. An aluminum snow shovel is non-negotiable when it comes to preparing for harsh winter storms. Unlike flimsy plastic shovels that can crack or snap under pressure, an aluminum snow shovel is built to last. Snowstorms can dump heavy, wet snow in a matter of hours, requiring quick action to clear driveways, walkways, or vehicles. When a storm hits, you don't want to be stuck relying on weak tools that fail when you need them most. Aluminum shovels don't just offer durability, they handle heavy-duty tasks with ease, cutting through compacted snow and ice without bending or breaking. You can't predict how much snow you'll have to deal with, which is exactly why you need this tool. Winter weather is unpredictable, and storms can escalate rapidly. A few inches of manageable snow can turn into feet of hard-packed drifts overnight. If your shovel gives out halfway through clearing your sidewalk, you're in trouble. Worse yet, being unprepared could block your access to emergency routes, supplies, or even medical help. With an aluminum snow shovel at your side, you're equipped to tackle these hazards head-on. Think you can get by with just one? Think again. Having a backup shovel is just as critical. Clearing large areas of snow, especially over an extended period, can put wear on even the toughest tools. There's also the risk of misplacing your primary shovel during the chaos of the storm. A second aluminum snow shovel ensures you're not left stranded if one tool fails or gets lost. It's not about over-preparing, it's about being realistic. Survival isn't convenient, so redundancy is your insurance policy. Don't wait until the last minute to purchase one either. Too often, people scramble last minute, finding stores sold out or only offering subpar options. Buy early and buy quality. Look for attributes like ergonomic handles and wide blades, ideal for tossing snow quickly without putting unnecessary strain on your body. This isn't about comfort, it's about efficiency. Bottom line? An aluminum snow shovel isn't just a smart choice, it's a mandatory one. Storms don't care about your unprepared excuses. Be ready to dig yourself out literally or risk being snowed in without a lifeline. Choosing an aluminum shovel is one of the simplest ways to eliminate unnecessary risks during a storm. Don't underestimate its importance. It could mean the difference between weathering the storm safely or being caught out in the cold. Be practical. Get one. Get two. 3. Can opener. When disaster strikes and you're staring at a shelf full of canned food, the last thing you want to discover is that you don't have a can opener, or worse, that your only one is broken. A can opener might seem like a minor detail, but when you're hungry, cold, and stressed, it becomes an absolutely crucial survival tool. Don't make the mistake of overlooking this. You can have the most well-stocked pantry of canned goods, but without a reliable way to open them, they're just hunks of useless metal. Here's the deal: have more than one can opener. Yes, seriously, investing in multiple durable can openers is non-negotiable. What happens if your main one breaks or gets misplaced? You're left fumbling with knives or tools, which is not only inefficient but also dangerous. Cuts and injuries during emergencies can quickly spiral into bigger problems due to limited medical resources. Please avoid that risk by being prepared. When choosing a can opener, quality matters. Cheap ones are likely to give out after a few uses when you need them most. Look for sturdy manual can openers, ones that don't require electricity, because power outages are almost guaranteed during storms. They should be robust, easy to use, and capable of enduring the heavy-duty use you're bound to place on them. Keep your can openers in easily accessible locations. What good is having a can opener if it's buried somewhere in a drawer or left in a forgotten corner of your home? Designate specific places in your survival kit or pantry and ensure everyone in your household knows where to find them. This isn't just about convenience, it's about survival. Seconds count in high-stress situations, and the last thing you need is wasting time searching for something so easily preventable. Additionally, consider a multi-tool with a built-in can opener as a backup. It's compact, versatile, and can save you from a jam if your primary opener isn't available. A little redundancy can be a lifesaver. Being overprepared beats being underprepared every time. Food is one of your most critical resources during a storm or any emergency, and a can opener is your key to accessing it. Don't assume you'll find workarounds in the heat of the moment. Plan ahead, stock up on dependable models, and never underestimate the importance of something as simple as a can opener. This isn't just a survival tip, it's common sense. 4. Fuel planning. When a storm is on the horizon, having a reliable fuel plan isn't just smart, it's absolutely necessary for survival. Don't gamble with power outages or risk being unprepared. Fuel is the lifeline that keeps your essential systems running, from heating to cooking to basic survival utilities. Propane is often the go-to choice. Why? It's safe, efficient, and stores well for extended periods. You can use it for stoves, heaters, generators, and even refrigeration, making it one of the most versatile fuels available. But don't make the mistake of relying on just one fuel source. Putting all your reliance on propane or any single option could leave you stranded if your supply runs out or becomes inaccessible. Always have a backup plan. Consider alternatives like gasoline for generators, wood for stoves and fireplaces, or even solar power for charging devices or run essentials like lights. Having multiple fuel sources increases your chances of weathering the storm without losing critical capabilities. However, fuel also comes with its own risks. Storage isn't something you can take lightly. Propane tanks need to be properly sealed and stored in a ventilated, secure area away from potential fire hazards. Gasoline needs to be kept in a dedicated fuel container and stored safely away from living areas. Always follow strict safety guidelines to prevent leaks or accidents, and keep your fuel accessible. The middle of a hurricane isn't the time to find out your propane tank is buried in the back corner of the garage under a pile of junk. Take the time before the storm to assess your energy needs and stock up accordingly. Look at how much fuel your household or shelter setup would require for at least a week, preferably 2. Once the storm hits, fuel will be one of the first resources to disappear from store shelves, and you don't want to be that person scrambling to find a half-empty gas can at the last minute. Remember, fuel isn't optional, it's survival 101. It keeps your food cooking, your living space warm, and gives you light when the power grid fails. Fail to plan your fuel, and you might as well plan to freeze, sit in the dark, and eat spoiled food. Stock the right type, the right amount, and ensure it's stored properly. Fuel planning may sound boring now, but when disaster strikes, you'll thank yourself for thinking ahead. 5. Thermal socks. Thermal socks are not just a luxury during extreme weather conditions, they are a necessity. When storms hit, keeping your extremities warm can be the difference between staying functional and succumbing to frostbite. Your feet are especially vulnerable to the cold, and standard socks simply won't cut it. That's why thermal socks, particularly those made from high-quality materials like merino wool, are non-negotiable for anyone preparing for harsh weather. Merino wool is the gold standard for thermal socks. It's unmatched in warmth, durability, and comfort. Unlike synthetic fibers, merino wool excels at insulating even when wet, which is critical in storm conditions where moisture can seep into your shoes or boots. This material is also breathable, meaning your feet stay warm without becoming uncomfortably sweaty, a common problem with lower quality options. If you're serious about survival, skimping on sock quality is a dangerous gamble you can't afford to take. Don't wait until the cold snap is upon you to stock up. Winter storms cause a surge in demand for survival gear, and essential items like thermal socks fly off the shelves. The last thing you want is to find yourself searching for decent socks when supply chains falter or the stores are wiped clean. Durability is another key factor here. Buy enough so that you can rotate between pairs without sacrificing warmth. You'll need them to last through prolonged power outages or extended outdoor treks if conditions force you to leave your home. Thermal socks are lightweight, easy to store, and an affordable investment considering the protection they provide. But remember, not all thermal socks are created equal. Prioritize quality, reliable brands over bargain bin options that won't stand up to the elements. Having just one solid pair isn't enough. Build a stockpile. It's better to have extras than to discover that your only pair is in the wash when the next big storm hits. When it comes down to it, thermal socks aren't just about comfort, they're about survival. Frostbite can set in faster than you think, and the consequences are severe, ranging from permanent tissue damage to amputation. Don't take any chances. If you don't already own multiple pairs of high-quality thermal socks, make it a priority today. Failing to prepare your feet for the stormy months ahead is a critical mistake you won't recover from. 6. Safety measures. When preparing for a storm, safety measures are not optional, they are an absolute must. Neglecting them isn't just careless, it can be deadly. First and foremost, you need carbon monoxide detectors and smoke alarms installed and fully operational. These devices save lives, period. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a silent killer that's all too common during storms when people rely on generators or alternative heating methods. Without a working detector, you might not wake up to realize what's happening. Test your alarms now, not later. Speaking of generators, if you're planning on using one, you better know what you're doing. Generators should always remain outside and far from windows. Running them indoors or too close to your house can create a fatal buildup of carbon monoxide. The same goes for camp stoves, grills, or any other appliance that burns fuel. They don't belong inside your home ever. If it can emit fumes, keep it out. Period. Portable heaters and any other heat sources need to be treated with equal caution. Make sure they're rated as safe for indoor use and never leave them running unattended. Place them on flat, non-flammable surfaces and at least 3 feet away from anything that can catch fire like curtains, furniture, or even your clothing. A poorly watched heater has caused many preventable house fires. Don't assume you'll avoid being part of that statistic. Take action to ensure it doesn't happen. Winter storms often increase the risk of household fires and poisoning, but these are entirely preventable dangers if you stay on top of your preparation. Stock up on fresh batteries for those alarms and detectors. Ensure your fuel-burning appliances are in good working order, and exercise common sense. When the power goes out, it can be tempting to make do with whatever you have, but pushing safety to the side is never the answer. That shortcut could cost you your life. Lastly, take a moment to teach your family these same precautions, especially children or anyone unfamiliar with the equipment. Go over what not to do, such as using open flames near flammable materials or running appliances that generate fumes inside. These conversations may seem obvious, but under stress, even the smartest people can make avoidable mistakes. Don't assume everyone knows the rules. Teach them. Prioritizing safety in your storm preparation isn't just being smart, it's survival. There are no excuses here. Protect yourself, your family, and your home by putting these safety measures at the top of your to-do list. Mistakes in this area can't be undone. 7. Pharmaceuticals. When a storm hits, access to medical supplies may become impossible. That's why you need to stock up on all essential pharmaceuticals before the chaos begins. Start by gathering enough of your prescription medications to last at least 2 weeks or longer, depending on the severity of the forecast. Don't assume pharmacies will remain operational or that medication deliveries will be timely during or after the storm. A closed pharmacy can mean the difference between staying healthy and a medical emergency. Beyond prescriptions, build an arsenal of over-the-counter OTC medications that cover a broad range of common ailments. Pain relievers like ibuprofen or acetaminophen, antacids, antihistamines, antidiarrheal medicines, and cold and flu remedies should all be at hand. Don't forget first aid cream, antiseptics, and bandages to handle minor injuries. Storm conditions might lead to accidents, and you'll need the tools to patch yourself up when help isn't available. Pay attention to the specific needs of everyone in your household. If someone has special medical conditions or requires unique care, make sure you've planned for those needs. Are there children in the home? Stock children's formulations of OTC medications. An elderly family member? Don't forget items like blood pressure monitors or glucose testing supplies. Neglecting these details can quickly turn an already stressful scenario into a life or death situation. Beyond medications, add essential non-medical health products to your inventory. Thermometers or a must fevers can be a sign of a serious medical issue, and you'll want to monitor them accurately. Consider investing in a humidity-controlled storage box for medications that might degrade in damp, storm-prone environments. Devices like humidifiers or breathing aids can also be critical, especially if someone has respiratory conditions that could worsen in poor air quality during an emergency. Restocking after a storm can take weeks or longer, and medical emergencies won't wait for a pharmacy's return to business as usual. Go through your checklist now and over-prepare. Don't gamble by thinking it'll be just another routine storm. Missing essential medications could lead to escalating health crises, especially when medical professionals may not be accessible. Prepare thoroughly, lives depend on it. 8. Electric blankets. Electric blankets are an underrated but essential survival item when preparing for a storm, especially during the colder months. They are designed to provide additional warmth while being incredibly energy efficient, which makes them a budget-friendly option for staying comfortable without cranking up the heat. When temperatures plummet outside, having an electric blanket on hand can make a massive difference in maintaining body heat and keeping yourself from succumbing to the bitter cold. The benefits of using electric blankets during extreme weather go beyond just warmth. Many models now come with features like adjustable heat settings, timers, and even weighted designs for added comfort. Weighted electric blankets, in particular, are a great option since they provide both heat retention and a calming effect, helping reduce stress in an already tense situation. These blankets are built to retain warmth longer, even after being turned off, which is a bonus if you're trying to conserve energy during a storm. However, relying solely on an electric blanket during a storm without planning ahead is a rookie mistake. You need to consider the possibility of power outages, which are almost guaranteed during extreme weather events. That's why having a backup plan is crucial. Always store additional non-electric blankets in your emergency kit. Wool or fleece blankets are excellent options since they are highly insulating and perform well even in damp conditions. Trust us, you don't want to be caught shivering in the middle of the night because the electricity went out and left you unprepared. Choosing the right electric blanket is also vital. Look for one with safety features like automatic shut-off to prevent overheating or fire hazards. Don't skimp on quality here. Invest in a well-reviewed product, because the last thing you need during a storm is a cheaply made electric blanket failing when you need it the most. Make sure you also test it before the storm hits to verify that it works properly. Finally, don't overlook portability. A compact electric blanket that can be plugged into portable power sources, like a generator or a car adapter, can serve as a life-saving tool if you lose access to indoor heating for an extended period. Combine it with other survival items, and you'll be far better equipped to ride out harsh conditions. 9. Generators. When the storm hits, having a generator isn't optional, it's mandatory. Storms knock out power. It's not if but when, and sitting in the dark hoping the power company gets to you fast enough isn't a plan. A generator gives you the ability to maintain control over your essential systems: lights, refrigerators, heaters, medical devices. Without power, those systems stop, and that leads to chaos or worse. Dual-fuel generators add an extra layer of security. Why? Because reliance on a single fuel source is a gamble you can't afford to take. A propane and gasoline-compatible generator ensures you have options. Gasoline runs out fast when everyone else in town hits the pumps. Propane, on the other hand, can sometimes still be accessible, and it's easier to store long-term. Having both options keeps your generator running when it matters most. No fuel? Your generator turns into a giant paperweight, and you're left unprepared. Don't forget this critical detail: your generator only works if you maintain it. Dust it off before the storm season begins. Test it. Make sure it actually starts. Look for leaks, check the oil, and ensure it's ready to run. Too many people realize in the middle of an emergency that the generator they've neglected is full of gunk or has a drained battery. Those mistakes are avoidable. Procrastination now means suffering later. Also, think beyond just having one. Do you have the extension cords needed to hook up essential items? Do you know the wattage limits of the generator? Overloading it because you didn't bother to read the manual is a common rookie mistake that will fry the system. And for the love of safety, don't run your generator indoors or in your garage. Carbon monoxide kills. A generator may be a pricey investment, but it's worth every dollar. When everyone else is panicking in the dark, you're the one with light and heat, staying calm while charging your phone for critical updates. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Once the storm hits, your power could be out for hours or even weeks. A generator's there to bridge that gap, protect you, and make sure things stay functional. Don't roll the dice on this one. Be ready, be prepared, and get a reliable, well-maintained generator before the next storm hits. You don't want to be the person wishing they'd planned ahead. Conclusion: preparation is the key to survival when a storm is on its way. By ensuring you have these 10 must-have survival items in your arsenal, you're not just protecting yourself, you're safeguarding your family and your home from chaos and uncertainty. From generators to electric blankets, every item on this list serves a critical role in keeping you safe, warm, informed, and fed during one of nature's most unforgiving challenges. Each piece of gear is a tool for resilience, a step towards self-reliance when the world outside feels out of control. Don't wait until it's too late. The time to prepare is now. Stay ahead of the storm, and you'll find peace of mind knowing you've done everything possible to weather whatever comes your way. Be ready, stay prepared, and remain confident that you can face even the harshest of conditions.